Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Romani. You read the title right. I want to talk about how to be confident as a dark-skinned woman. Now, for the purposes of the actual video, I'm going to say how to be confident as a darker-skinned woman just because I know that people gauge skin color differently. I know that Black Americans have a wide range of gauges from light skin to brown skin to dark skin. And I know that white Americans or just white people in general just have either white or black. So it just depends on who you are and how you gauge skin color. But if you consider yourself brown or dark, then this video is for you. Now, if you think this topic is weird or unnecessary, I really urge you to think, why do we even need to talk about these things? Like, why is it such a thing that a person has to make a video in order to help people be confident in the first place? The truth is that women with darker skin are just treated differently in person and reflected in the media. We're often angry or upset or less feminine, and then people watch these TV shows, they listen to this music, and they are programmed and they start to treat darker skinned women differently in real life. I had the thought about making this video because I was watching Girlfriends recently, and there's an episode where Tony doesn't want to date a dark skinned man because she doesn't want to have a dark skinned child. She doesn't want to have a dark skinned child because she doesn't want her child to grow up facing the same scrutiny that she faced as a darker skinned woman. She didn't want her child to be laughed at or bullied because of the color of her skin, so she felt like it would be better to have a child with a lighter skinned man. And so then I got to thinking, how many other women feel like this? How many other women don't want to have children that represent them because they don't want their child to go through the same harassment that they faced growing up? How many other darker skinned women are feeling undesirable, inferior, or aggressive? I do feel like the constant lack of representation and the constant poor treatment of women with darker skin lead them to feeling insecure. And it's just no secret that even the most confident darker skinned woman can still have some feelings of insecurity or feelings of being inferior just because of the color of her skin. So I wanted to make this video to help you get out of that and maybe to help you see things differently. In order to be confident, I want you to first think about why you are not confident. We are programmed to hate ourselves. And I'm not saying that like to be harsh, but we are programmed to dislike ourselves so that we look for things outside of ourselves to make us happy. If society is able to make you hate your skin color, they can profit off of this because you start to buy shit that you don't need, like bleaching cream. But something that I really want you to understand is that the programming that you are receiving is feeling, it's not fact. So the things that you are being programmed with is just somebody else's feelings. Feelings are not factual. It's just something that somebody is experiencing. It's an emotion. So somebody can have an emotion or somebody can have a feeling and they try to program it into you. That does not mean that it's true. So just because somebody else feels like darker skin is undesirable and they've programmed that into you, it does not make it true. They are not God. But I know that it's hard to see things like that when you've been programmed from childhood to think light is right or white is right, and having darker skin warrants harassment or bullying. So I know that you probably have some feelings of insecurity, but I want you to, and I know that this is easier said than done, but stop internalizing the way that society feels about you. This society was not necessarily created for you, so it cannot cater to you in all that you need. So you cannot internalize how it feels about you because it's always going to be negative. And if you internalize society's negative feelings about you, you're always going to feel shitty. It sucks, but we have to continue to block out the noise. We have to continue to block out the things that do not serve us. Because yes, society can change, but I never count on society changing. I think, what can I do differently? And not that it's our fault about what society is saying and doing, but I'm saying I don't want you to internalize what society is saying or doing. You have to block that out and realize these people are ignorant and they don't want to learn, they don't want to grow, and that's a them problem. That's not a you problem. Once you come to terms with just how negative society is when it comes to darker skinned women, I want you to start creating a safe space for yourself. And when I say safe space, I don't mean something that you can just dip into for 5 minutes, like a space that you can just, come to for 5 minutes. No, I want you to create a life that feels safe for you. Now, I'm not saying that you can shield yourself from the realities of the world, because the reality is what it's going to be. But your life doesn't have to reflect how society feels about darker skinned women. Your life can be completely different, and it can be completely different by the things that you allow to penetrate your aura. So I really want you to be intentional about creating a life that feels safe for you. The people that you're around should be speaking life into you. If you have those friends, and because I don't want to misspeak. If you have friends that are colorists and you know that they are colorists, they do not need to be your friends anymore, especially if they are not willing to learn. And at this big age, who the is about to teach somebody not to be colorist? Personally, I don't have time for that. But if you do, then teach your friends. But if you ain't got time, those people don't need to be your friends. If you have those friends, it's like I want to give you all an example, but I don't want to talk about this person. But if you have a friend that will like make sly remarks about your skin tone or something like that, that's a hater. That's a person who does not value you, and that is a person who is colorist. Like, I don't want to call them a colorist, but who practices colorism or who promotes colorism. Life is already trying to beat us down enough, so you don't need the friends around you who don't see the value in you, who don't think you're beautiful, or who think they are more beautiful than you just because they have a lighter skin tone. They might be a beautiful person, but you are also a beautiful person, and that needs to be understood if this is going to be a friendship. We are both beautiful people. Nobody is more beautiful than the other just because of their skin tone. So yes, the people around you should be making you feel safe. You shouldn't feel inferior. You shouldn't hate going out with them. You shouldn't hate being around them. You need people around you that make you feel safe. Your inner circle should not be made up of people who are ignorant. It just shouldn't. And on the topic of safe spaces, even aside from the people that you are associating yourself with, stop idolizing things that do not represent you. Media, influencers, celebrities, stop idolizing it. There are some beautiful light-skinned celebrities and influencers, but there are also just as many beautiful darker-skinned celebrities and influencers. So if you must idolize somebody who represents you. Don't idolize something that you could never be, because then you're going to be chasing this aesthetic and you're always going to feel 10 steps behind because you are never going to look like that. It's really harmful and damaging to your psyche for you to constantly be programming your mind with somebody who doesn't look like you. Now, I'm not saying that you can't look up to certain influencers and you can't like their posts and you can't follow them, but I'm saying stop trying to be these people, especially if they don't represent you. If you are a darker skinned Black woman and you don't follow any darker skinned Black women, that is damaging to the psyche. You're never seeing yourself represented. You'll always be comparing yourself to a beauty standard that you are not. And then you'll be feeling ugly whole time. You're beautiful. You just want to be somebody other than yourself. You have to find the beauty in yourself. Like, you really have to see the beauty in yourself. Stop looking outside of yourself. Stop looking to people. Stop idolizing people. Idolize yourself. Look in the mirror and love yourself. And again, like I said, everything that I'm saying is easier said than done, which is why I'm saying if you must idolize anybody, which of course I don't agree with because people are just people, but if you must idolize anybody, can it be somebody who looks a little bit like you, a little bit, especially if all you're following is white influencers or white celebrities? Again, these people are amazing. I'm not taking anything away from anybody, but just know that it is damaging to the psyche when you are trying to be something outside of yourself. I say the same thing in my lock videos. I always say, if you are starting your locks, it is not wise for you to constantly follow people who don't have locks, especially if this is a new hairstyle for you, because you are going to start to feel ugly, because you're not looking at the beauty standard that you're trying to be something outside of yourself. Same thing goes for skin tone. And again, please don't take what I'm saying out of context. I'm just saying that there are beautiful, darker skinned women that you can support and that you can follow. And these women represent you, and then you can start to see yourself in the beauty industry, and then it will help with your confidence because now you're seeing yourself represented in a positive way. And this is a daily practice, especially if you didn't grow up being super self-lovey and you just kind of beat yourself up. This is not going to be something that just happens tomorrow. So it's something that you really need to be intentional about, because there's no reason that you should be walking around hating yourself. Black women are are so beautiful, and society is gonna try to have you think otherwise, but Black women are so beautiful. We're so versatile. We're so diverse. There's just so many good things I can say about Black women, and I love having this platform because I can just openly say my thoughts. I love Black women, and I feel like we should all feel as beautiful as we look. No matter how you look, you're a beautiful Black woman. So I really hope that this video helped you, even if it was just 5%. I just want you to really see the beauty in yourself, really see the beauty in your skin tone. So no matter if you're brown, if you're light brown, you're dark brown, really see the beauty in yourself and realize that there are people paying to get tanned so that they can look like you. People want to look like you because they see the beauty in you. It's so easy for everybody else to see the beauty in us, but then we don't see the beauty in us. No matter how many people try to talk shit about darker skinned women, they tan just to look like that. That's why people want to get all bronzed and glazed in the fucking summer, because they see the beauty. So now you have to see the beauty, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And the more that you do build that internal love and just that self-love, the less negative forces are going to be able to penetrate that self-love. So I'm not saying that the world is going to change, but I'm saying that you change so you don't give a fuck about what the world is talking about. If you're a brown or a darker skinned woman, I want you to leave a comment telling me one or many things that you love about yourself. And I know when you make people say what they love about themselves, they get all weird, but like, don't even make it weird. Like, don't be shy about it. Just say something that you love about yourself, and I want you to remember that and create an affirmation around that and continue to tell yourself those things every single day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped at least one person out there. If it did, I feel great. I'm going to leave all of my contact information down below in the description box, just in case you want to connect outside of YouTube. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video.